So we're here at the Henry Ford Museum today, and I wanted to come at you guys with a quick video. Jimmy just stopped us as we're walking through their new racing exhibit, and he pointed out some interesting things that I thought you guys might be interested in. So why don't you come with me? Let's go talk to Jimmy. I do apologize in advance. This is, of course, a public museum, so there are people, and it might be a little noisy. So come on over with me. Let's go talk to Jimmy. So
A dynamometer.
it's a dynamometer.
A dynamometer for a tether car.
So what's a tether car then?
Well, I didn't expect this display. This is awesome. Tether cars predated slot cars and plastic modeling in general.
Right.
They were always car lovers, right?
Of course, yeah.
These guys were real engineers and real craftsmen.
Take a look
They
at
would
this.
build a car that was a scale replica of a race car.
Yeah.
Now these kind of cars ran at the state fairgrounds,
Ah.
so local people would see them run,
Right.
and they build these cars from scratch, and then they started joining the club.
Huh.
They're gas powered,
Okay.
and they're held on with a tether. You can look at some of these, and a string goes out. I'd say about 50 feet out.
About 50 feet. Okay.
Your buddy starts the gas engine, and then it starts whipping around and around.
Just really, just okay.
Yeah, and what clubs would do is they'd race for 4 laps, and for a time. The fastest car wins.
Right.
But if you look it up on YouTube, you'll see that it's a little bit chaotic. That's all they had. It's the best they had.
Yeah.
So looking at these, and then this stuff right here, down here, is equipment that they would use to make the models.
Wow.
What do you suppose that is?
I was gonna say that looks like some sort of molding implement.
You know what? I was looking at it. You know what I think it is? I think it's a form to make that body. Right there. See that fiberglass body?
Yeah.
These guys used to have to make all their stuff from scratch.
Wow.
Get a shot from this way, Derek. Let's move over to this other side. You see that buck right there?
Down here, Derek. Let's take a look.
We're jumping around here, Derek. But look at it. It's kind of exciting. See that buck? That's what they use to probably hammer the skin of metal to form these bodies up here. I mean, you couldn't go to the store and buy that stuff. You had to make it, especially before the war in the early 30s. And remember I told you it was tethered to a string to go around?
Exactly.
I guess in Milwaukee, a club built a wooden track. You see that poster? And they had rails. Before slot cars, they had rails, and the car would go around on the rails.
It really kind of is the pre-slot car.
Right, it is. This all happened well before slot cars, well before wheels.
I was just reading on that sign that it kind of hit its zenith in the 40s and 30s.
Right. And then you know what? It died away in the 50s when car modeling came out and slot cars came out.
When both of those.
Even the first slot cars had a little hook, and it had a guide. Instead of a slot, it had a guide way
Really?
that the cars would follow around. And it's these type of car lovers who are fine scale modelers who made the hobby flourish. But this is the biggest collection I've ever seen, guys.
This is quite a.
This is awesome. And you know what's cool? Remember my talking to you about how if it's not governed properly, racing can choke itself off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you notice the older cars are fine scale models?
You take a look at that.
And as we move through the years this way, they become nothing but little speed demons that don't really mimic a real race car. Look at this one back here.
You can see these are from this one at the bottom is from the 50s.
Yeah, this is 47. The idea here was they built it for speed.
Right.
They didn't build it as a fine scale model of a real race car. You can look down here, you can see those cars are later.
Right.
They don't mimic a real race car as much as they do speed. They're speed demons, you know what I mean? So just like slot cars, the same thing happened in this tethering model. But it's the best collection I've ever seen.
It is quite a collection, really.
It is beautiful. I remember when I was a kid, you could buy that kit. I do. I'm old enough to remember that from the late 50s, early 60s.
Thimbledrome, yeah.
And they all smelled of castor oil.
Oh, I bet they did.
Because they had a gas motor, and the only way to cool the motor and lubricate it was to mix castor oil into the fuel.
Into the fuel. Wow. It must have stunk to
I
high
bring
heaven.
back some. I can almost smell it in my nose.
Hey,
And my older buddies running these
One of
cars.
these things. That's funny. I saw what looks to be a couple of slot cars in this case here.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
You see that car, that Indy car?
Yep.
That's the car that I had the box art of.
Oh.
That I showed you guys when we were upstairs in my studio.
Yes.
Only mine's an empty box. I paid $14 just for the box art, but that's the car that was in it.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it's
there
one,
it is.
See, that's 1/24th scale. It's got a rear engine. So
Right.
It's a Indy car or Formula One car. And then see that little yellow GT40?
That one right next to the track there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a HO car.
Huh.
And that ran on that black track right there.
It looks like
And-
yeah.
And there's the controller
I
for
was
it.
gonna say, it looks like there's the controller there as well.
Ryan, you know why that was popular?
Why?
Because you could see how small the track is.
Yeah,
You
pretty
could
tiny.
get a lot more racing in a kid's bedroom floor than you
Right.
could 1/32nd scale.
That's
And
true.
you know you're limited with 1/32nd scale as it is. So there were as many young men racing HO cars as there were guys racing 1/32nd.
That makes sense. You know, if that's what you could fit in your room, and especially, I kind of,
I'm having a good time. This is cool.
That's good stuff.
and they got quite a collection of these model cars. I mean, it'd be great if they had a couple more slot cars in here, but those are both really cool examples.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You got the market cornered on the slot car collection around here, though. They'd have to come to you to get all their stuff.
Well, I'm glad we stumbled on it. Let's move
Right.
on to the other cars.
Yeah, let's go take a look at the rest of the exhibit, maybe. Well, thank you guys for joining for this little quick aside. It's really cool to see the progression of these tether cars to these slot cars over here. I mean, it goes to show you that in some form, this hobby has always existed.
Yeah. Oh, it's car lovers.
It's car lovers.
I think you're born a car lover.
Yeah,
I don't think you learn to be a car lover.
yeah. It's all a love of speed, of mechanics, and all. It's really cool. But anyway, thank you for joining us. We're gonna go take a look at the rest of the exhibit. Signing off.